Aloha, what's up everyone? Welcome to another episode of Omens. I do have some news for you. Many people have missed the good old days where you could send me your omens, and I have that fixed up. So at the beginning right now, I'll share with you a link, and I'll also post this in my posts section on my channel. I'll post the link there, and I will also make it available on my website. I'll be updating the website later tonight. The link... the website, this is what it looks like when you go there. So it's JayDreamerZ.filemail, FILEMAIL.com. And this looks like what I'll probably be using from now on. So you just go here, you just type in your name, where you're from, write a message here, and then click add file, and then you could send that right to me. And I'll be sharing the viewer submissions in future episodes. All right, cool. We'll come back to that in just a sec. Now, let's start off with this one, okay? So, this is an omen that you live in the season of Satan, okay? And I also wanted to just give a friendly reminder of how to pronounce this word, okay? They put articles about this particular planet out all of the time because they want you to say it the way that they have taught you to say it, which is wrong. It's incorrect. The way most people say this word is your anus. That's exactly what they want you to say. This is how they want you to speak. Okay, this is evidence for me that we live in the season of Satan. Now, if you call it by its actual name, which is Uranus, then people will probably have no idea what you're talking about. So you have to educate them. But that's the proper way to say it. This is not your at all. That's just an Americanized cowboy way of saying something like that. And then this over here is not us, it's us. It's Uranus. Okay? So they're just trolling people to get you to have this dirty base mindset. You know, same thing with all the TV shows and all the butt jokes and anal stuff that they talk about on commercials and cartoons and TV and stuff. This is just evidence that we live during the season of Satan. Right? For me personally, when it comes to the topic of the season of Satan and what time frame we live in right now, I really don't. I put more weight and more evidence on looking around me at the world I live in, how the people are acting. You know what I mean? What kind of a vibration they're all giving off. Just, open up TikTok, open up Instagram, open up X, open up half the shorts on YouTube and stuff, and Facebook, and you can see the times that we live in. You can see what is at the forefront of everyone's minds and what people are interested in, which is just base, vile, perverse, nasty stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, maybe that's just my experience. That is my experience. And I don't know how many of you are also noticing the same types of things. But to me, that's much more important than, going over, the different scriptures in the Bible and people arguing it and saying, well, to me, it means this, and this prophecy hasn't happened yet. And you know what I mean? All this argument that I hear other people having over the whole season of Satan thing. Look around you and tell me who's in charge of the world right now. Not who's the king of your heart, not who lives inside of you, or whatever. Who dominates the world presently? The devil. From my perspective. Okay, that's how I see it, and I'm sharing that with you. Good to see everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us today. Next up, we got annual inflation rates hit 2.3% in April, less than expected, and lowest since 2021. Well, I don't really care about any of this stuff, numbers, politics, all this stuff. I do want to talk about inflation though, all right? There should be no such thing as inflation, and yet that's accepted as a part of our world like taxes. There should be no such thing as taxes at all. That's theft. It's thievery. It's not even theft. You have to have something in order for someone to steal it from you. It's just straight up lying to you about your wages because they never give it to you in order to take it away. They don't. Okay? It's make-believe. You've been tricked. And that's another part of the season of Satan. Everyone goes around just accepting this as that's the way it is, and they accept it. This is crap. Anyways, this whole inflation thing is directly tied to biblical prophecy. I'm kind of in the way here, but I'll just read it to you. This comes from the book of Revelation, right? Which is a book of omens that we should look out for during the times that we live in. This is the person who was given the prophecy. He says, I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 living creatures saying, a quart of wheat for a denarius, and 3 quarts of barley for a denarius, and do not harm the oil and the wine. And this sometimes can throw some people off when they're trying to figure out what this means, but in short, it means that during the end times, you will work all day long. You will earn your whole day's wage just so you can eat, just so you can make it to the next day. That's basically what this is saying. And that's exactly what's happening. All this whole inflation garbage, people even, I don't like the concept of money anyway. Banking, all that crap is evil. Okay, to me personally. Like, you're walking around with Illuminati freaking Freemasonic pictures all over the dollar bills here, and nobody even looks at it and thinks twice to see this is who owns you, or your current, or your energy. This is who you represent when you're trading and stuff using this paper. It's just paper. This is nothing. This is garbage. Okay? We use this garbage. We trade our garbage for other things, but you're working. This is like a penny now. This dollar, I see dollars just in the streets sometimes. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, if you saw a nickel on the ground or even a penny, people would pick that up. Now it's like trash. It's worthless. And this is directly tied to that biblical prophecy saying that people would work their butts off all day long and make nothing. They would make it to the next day. And then they would be so thankful that they finally got off work, and you're exhausted and you're tired and you don't even want to make a meal for yourself. You're so exhausted because then you're going to have to do dishes and there's other things you need to attend to. People just want to go to bed. And yet they haven't had any fun. They haven't done anything. They haven't been able to do anything they want to do. So they'll sacrifice much needed sleep to go out to the bar or to go hang out with friends or whatever it may be. And your energy, you have none. You're out of energy. Okay? We all are out of energy. And this inflation, this just even discussing the concept or the idea of inflation and money and banks and all this is just normal and taxes and stuff. This is the season of freaking Satan. Okay? The devil. What I personally consider to be the devil, the adversary. This is an energy that's adverse to my own. I'm against that. And therefore it's against me. So I'm satanic in its eyes and in the eyes of everyone that is so patriotic and loves their government. And, I pay my taxes and they're so proud and crap. When you don't, you don't pay anything. You have to have it to pay it, just so you know. Okay. You at the end of the year, you know what I mean? Like you pay taxes or whatever. You just pay extra. But even income tax, like you go buy a candy bar at the store and it's just automatic tax. And then you got fast food restaurants. You know what I mean? You go get some Chinese food or something, and they're like, would you, they'll tell you the total. That'll be, $54.12, whatever, however much it costs these days. And I say, would you like to round up 82 cents to donate to our restaurant or to donate to the children's fund or cancer victims or survivors or whatever bull crap they're making up? Do I want to round up? Do I want to just give you a bonus? Do I want to just give you more to your corporation that you're just going to give to your owners so they can be more rich? Fudge, no, I don't want to round up garbage. Nothing. Can you round down for single parents, for stay-at-home dads or moms or poor people? Can you please cut my bill in half out of kindness of your heart, since you guys are millionaires? Like, do I want to round up? Fudge that, dude. That's garbage. That's the season of Satan. All this inflation, people just think this is normal. And then they'll try to trick you and make you all think that because they raised minimum wage here in the United States, they have minimum wage. I don't know how it is other places. You know, oh, McDonald's is hiring at $25 an hour. Oh man, that's great. Except, you know, they raised the prices of everything more than what you got for your pay raise. This is bull crap, man. Like, does anybody else feel this way? Anybody? I don't know. All right, let's continue on. Oh, there's a new pope. David. Hey, what's up, David? High five. Welcome to the Good Vibe Tribe. So check this out. There's a new pope. I don't care. I think it's stupid that there's a president of a religion. Like, Jesus should be your pope if you're a Christian, okay? Fudge popes, all right? Forget popes. I'm against popes as much as I am kings, queens, senators, governors, freaking presidents, all that crap, okay? I'm not Catholic. I don't even care. I don't know how you people can tolerate it. Okay, all your little cardinals and poperies and parades and pontiffs and hats and walking sticks and show and your pomp and show. It's just disgusting to me. Personally, I don't care. Okay, I don't care about any of that religious garbage or political garbage, which is now the same exact thing. However, this article right here says pizza place in Chicago, and it's honoring him with its own menu item. Oh, this is Pope Leo. That's his new name, by the way. So they just rename themselves after different, you know, popes or saints or whatever. They don't go by their own name. I don't know why. This is all very suspicious to me. I don't like any of it. But now, I mean, is this really the best idea? Is to like make a big deal about how the Pope's from Chicago and then making this pizza connection with the brand new Pope? That's the first thing you want to do? Is talk about, like, you know, all the different pizzas that are going to be named after this guy, especially with all the stuff that's been happening within your disgusting, nasty, perverted organization, top down. And don't get me wrong, you're not like the only nasty, disgusting, perverted organization. It's like everyone in the world, okay? But you're like one of the main ones. So it's disgusting. It's nasty. Everybody knows it, okay? Just hardly anybody talks about it. And when it is talked about, it's just briefly mentioned as a side note on the news. You devils. Anyways, this article says, we emit a visible light that vanishes when we die. Surprising new study says. Well, this is pretty interesting. If we do emit a visible light, and they are recording it somehow, imagine how much more amplified that light will be when we actually transition back into the age of light. We live in a dark age right now, okay? They've got you thinking that, oh, the dark age is a long time ago, back when people lived in the mud and the rich people were in castles and carts and horses and, you know, no records of anything or whatever. They have you messed up when it comes to the dark ages and that entire timeline. That was the age of light, okay? That was the age whenever people lived off of the land, and it was the opposite of everything that, from my research, of everything that we're led to believe it was. And today we're being led to believe that this is the modern age. There's nothing modern about this, okay? All this technology we're coming up with is just evidence that you don't have these abilities to do these things yourself. You have smartphones because most people are stupid. So you have to create a device to be smart for you. Okay, this is a dark age. This is an age of crap and vileness and trash and disease. That's the modern age. I don't care how much artificial light we have. All right? There's different kinds of light. There's this fluorescent, bright, man-made, nasty light. And the light spectrum has been changing with the color spectrum that the Earth goes through. In case you haven't noticed. Back in the 70s, they didn't have all these fluorescent, bright, you know, burn your skin tans. Walk around in Walmart for 15 minutes and feel like you need to put on sunscreen or wear your sunglasses. Lights didn't used to look like that. They followed the natural color spectrum, which was an amber glow, which is what color the sun used to be, and the moon, and other things too. But now they're all just this bright, blindingly white, flashing light. And I can't stand it. And it reminds me of, like, you know, the true light versus the false light. Anyways, the world that we're going into, you know, it may be that people will be able to see their lights once more. This article says 115,000-year-old human footprints were found in an unexpected location. Unearthed in Saudi Arabia, 115,000-year-old footprints, exactly, on the money. That's how old they are, to the day. Evidence of early human life, blah, 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 right? Well, the only thing I find interesting about this is not the actual footprints. This is another thing they do. They just lie. You're lied to all the time, okay? People's thumbnails, people's pictures. You would think that this is the picture of the footprints, right? You can't trust a damn thing anywhere on Earth anymore. It's a season of Satan. This whole Omens is going to be about the season of Satan, okay? This is not even the right picture. This says credit Canva. And it's somebody just found a picture of nice looking footprints and put it up there. And you're like, oh my God, look at those awesome footprints. They look so good. And then you scroll down to see the actual footprints. And it's like this. Nothing like how they showed you to begin. You're just getting tricked. And people accept this, man. It's not illegal. And people skirt that gray area of what's legal versus what's not illegal. I don't even believe in legal. I believe in the law of the land. And unfortunately, it's all but eradicated. The people that won are the people in charge. They did what they wanted to do. They took care of things however they wanted to. Everybody else conceded, gave up their rights in exchange for little bonuses and little gifts and little privileges and crap. Shame on all of us collectively. Shame on humanity for giving up your power and respect and all of these things for smartphones and gadgets and trinkets and luxuries and little tiny comforts that you could have had all on your own had you never given up your your power, basically. Anyways, that's not even why I pulled this up. I pulled this up because it's interesting that this is rock. Let's say this is the actual picture. Let's use the actual picture, okay? This rock. It's stone. They call it petrified footprints. That means it was once malleable earth. It was once clay. It was once the water came up from the earth and it made everything all squishy and clay form and mud and things like that. And you're going to have footprints. Some of you are going to have your footprints recorded in the historic record. Kazadev 555, what's up? Thank you so much. Let me put a little heart on that. I appreciate it. This will be some of your footprints, and then they'll say that these are your footprints from millions of years ago, and make up some lying crap about you probably one day. There's no way these footprints are 100 and anything thousand years old. That's crazy. Anyways, let's what do we got next? I love it. I like complaining about this crazy world, but I like the good news too. Now, this article says excitement builds as the Corona Borealis explosion is imminent. They've been talking about this since last year. Remember, last August, there was supposed to be this supernova in the sky that they're predicting. How do you predict that? You can't predict a tornado. You can't predict local weather. And you're going to tell me when a star's going to explode? If they can do that, they know way more than they're letting off. Okay? You don't predict when a star explodes, especially in your whack model where things are billions of light years away and, all the crazy things. There's no way you would ever be able to do such a thing. Okay? And yet they're confident. Pretty soon they got everyone looking up at the skies to wait for some explosion. Oh, thanks, Mad Pax. You guys are kind. Right? Thank you so much. Anyways, look at the name, right? Corona. Why does the word Corona come up so much in the last 5 years? Why? Right? It's not just the virus or anything. It has to do with the omens that we're going to see. Okay, the Corona Borealis, especially. This is the north. People subconsciously they're saying that you will see an explosion in the northern sky. You will. When the apocalypse happens and the apex dome of the firmament, which covers this earth, blows open, the sky rips open, and you see the heavenly light, the actual light of the heavens, which is not dark, void space garbage. You see the light of the heavens from the other side of that hole. You're going to see a big fat red circular thing up there. And they're trying to condition your mind as to what that is already. Okay? That's the sky blowing open. There's no such thing as faraway stars and planets and all that crap under the dome. Maybe on the other side, there's worlds. Okay? And I discussed the fractal verse and my view of what that looks like on the other side of the dome. But not under the dome. There's no planets. There's no moon that you can land on, that the light that you see in the sky. Okay? This is our universe. Under the dome is our world, our universe. Our whole cosmology is under an enclosed system. Who's that? Mad Pax. Oh, thank you. The like button needs some attention, he says. Thank you. Anyways, let's continue on. What is this? Oh, this kind of frustrated me too, right? So some orcas are starting to be able to mimic human speech. That we're teaching, some humans are teaching some orcas to say words in human, English words so far, right? And the article says this: people left terrified after creepy audio recordings of orcas imitating human speech was revealed. Who the fudge was terrified by that? I'm not terrified by animals talking. You know what I mean? Listen, you're not going to make it in the next world if you're terrified at the thought of animals talking to you. Okay? And it's not, I'm just going to, listen, this title of this article is just a lie. Nobody's terrified. Okay? People, my butt, nobody, no people. Who are these people that are terrified over a whale that's trying to speak to other people? You want to see the video? Watch, I'll show you.
They say she's the first of her kind to be heard copying human speech.
Hello? Hello? 1, 2.
Anyways, I don't know if you guys could hear that or not. I'm not sure how good the audio quality was on that. But the orcas are like imitating the human. The human trainer is trying to get them to say words like hello and 1, 2 and other things like that. I'm so sick of clickbait garbage. Aren't you? I'm so sick of the things that skirt the gray area. It's also the gay area. The gray area. Sorry, I grew up in the 90s. The things that skirt the gray area and they're not illegal, so people do them. They get away with this kind of crap, like robocalls. And I mean, they say robocalls are illegal. There's no task force arresting anybody or anything. You see the movie The Beekeeper? On point, man. That's the law of the land. But no, we would just allow these things. I heard some people the other day. I just was eavesdropping on a conversation. Just regular people out in the public bragging about how they were so proud to have their receipts ready to give to the Walmart security elderly handicapped receipt checker person. And they were all so excited about it, to help them out and this and that. I'm like, damn, I better not even weigh in on this conversation. These people are going to hate me. You know what I mean? We just accept all this crap. Okay? Anyways, there's no people terrified. If you're terrified of animals talking, dude, you're not going to make it in the next world because animals are going to talk again. I mean, they're talking now. It's just the problem's with you. You can't hear them. You can't understand them. I understand a lot of different kinds of animals. I feel what they're conveying. Okay? That's the original form of the original language and why animals could speak to humans, because it's telepathic. It's not just telepathic. It's more than that. It's a whole energy that you sense. It's not just purely the mind and being able to interpret sounds and signals or anything like that. Telepathy can be conveyed without any movement from the body or vocal cords or any of that stuff. You just sense it. You feel. You're empathic. I don't know how else to describe it. Anyways, yeah, people left terrified. That's crazy, man. They try to tell you how to feel by telling you everyone else feels that way. I don't fall for that. This next one is from earth.com, and it says green algae in Lake Erie may be hiding toxic, deadly compounds. It is hiding toxic, deadly compounds. So is all these places, all these waters around the world that are turning green right now. Okay, this is also in the Bible. It's prophecy saying that the waters would become wormwood, bitter, toxic, bad for you. releasing neurotoxins. In this one, they talk about these neurotoxins that are produced by cyanobacteria and these other things that these harmful algae blooms are producing. And they're what's this one toxin? This new one that they found is called saxitoxin or saxitoxin. There it is right there. See that? I don't know. Anyways, it's right there. Saxitoxin. These are that I looked that up. That's a neurotoxin. It affects your what do you call that? Not your spinal cord, but your nerves or whatever in your spine. You know what I'm talking about, and your brain too. Okay, these things are affecting the brains of sea life and including humans that live in and near the sea, and this is going to affect pretty soon if it keeps growing out of control the way that it is. It's going to affect everybody because these toxins, especially neurotoxins, are going to get into the atmosphere and just travel on the wind. And people are going to lose their minds. People are going to start convulsing all over the place, having respiratory problems, mental problems, people looking like they're on drugs when they're not. And guess what that leaves your governments to do? To tell you what the problem is. You think they're going to blame the oceans and say we're all screwed? The whole ocean's infected? No, they're not going to. They're going to use this to their advantage to direct your energies, to control you, basically, by telling you what it really is instead of us studying and figuring it out for ourselves. This article right here from the Smithsonian left me a little aggravated. It says sunscreen, clothing, and caves may have given modern humans an edge over Neanderthals when Earth's magnetic field wandered. All right, I don't believe in Neanderthals, okay? I don't believe in these concepts. I don't believe I came from a monkey at all, okay? If you do, fine. You came from a monkey, not me. Your ancestors are monkeys, not mine. Okay, that's my perspective. That's my beliefs. Okay, and I give you yours. You can have it. You can have the monkey grandpa or grandma or whoever. Not me. Okay, I think humans can devolve into animals through therianthropy and very quick changes that happen during a radioactive time of the plasma apocalypse, and the plasma can convert DNA and stuff very quickly. But anyways, they're trying to say that we have everything we have today instead of being cavemen because of things like sunscreen. I literally can't even talk about what I really think about sunscreen, okay? I just can't. I mean, I could. You can do anything on your last day, but I'm not going to tell you what I really think of sunscreen. That's a Joker brand product. Literally, in the movie, the Joker promotes that product, and it's not good in Batman Returns. Okay, I think it's Batman Returns. I don't know. It's one of the good Batman movies. This Joker brand products. Okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about, in the movie, the Joker put these poisons and nasty chemicals in all these different products that whenever you use them in combination with one another, they give you cancer. They kill you. They poison people. They have them messed up. That movie's true. Okay. Anyways, clothing. They had clothing. Listen, the whole caveman Neanderthal thing, that's just our world under different conditions. And they were probably way more intelligent than we are today. If the atmosphere was electrically amplified like I think it is, it probably boosted their synapses. And, they didn't need to walk around with clothing because it was a paradise. It was tropical. It was hot. It was warm. They didn't need all that clothes and stuff. We wear clothes because it's freaking cold. You know what I mean? For the most part. And then all this weird stuff that comes along with wearing clothing and stuff. But what else they got? Caves. Oh, the caves. The people hid in the caves. Why? Or one, they lived in them. They didn't just hide in them. Okay? But caves did provide some amount of protection from these otherworldly monsters that make their appearance, and gigantism that, you have gigantic insects and animals and stuff. Yeah, you could hide in a cave. But a cave would be a great place if there's all of this beneficial, positive earth energy that's coming out of it, like I believe that there is every other cycle. So you're going to want to live in a cave. It'd be the best place, you know? I mean, there's always exceptions and stuff, but yeah, a cave would be a great place to live. I don't know. I don't like this whole Neanderthal caveman bullcrap the picture that they paint, where they're just like, they have these big, huge jaws and they're big old foreheads, and you know, they look dumb and they drag women around by their hair and carry clubs and crap. That's a cartoon, man. That stuff's not real. Okay, you're all going to become cavemen. All right, is that what you look like? I mean, some people do, actually. I don't know. Some people might actually be like that. Who knows? Maybe there's some truth there. All right. The world's first supercomputer that combines the human brain with silicon, or silicone, or however you pronounce that. Silicon is now available for your brain. Nice. The CL1 computer is the first in the world that combines human neurons with a silicon chip. It could be used in disease modeling. Let me highlight that. Could be. Okay. It could be used in disease modeling and drug discovery before it expires after 6 months. So they just want to put some chips, some computer chips, onto your neurons in your brain. No problem. Oh, I lost I highlighted something here. Scientists discover how to use your body to process data. Hold on, there was another point I wanted to make about this. Inside the CL1, a nutrient-rich broth feeds humans neurons, which grow across a silicon chip. That chip sends electrical impulses to and from the neurons to train them. Train them to exhibit desired behaviors. And everybody just thinks that's fine. That's not against the law. That's totally okay. Let's do that. Let's all become the Star Trek Borg and allow people to put computer chips in your brain that can train your brain to have the desired behavior. I'm looking at the chat like, anybody? Damn. Oh my God, man. They're literally mind control. They're getting people excited about this. Let's talk about it. Let's train our brains. Yeah, it's not going to be you training your brain, okay? It's going to be somebody else. They're already training your brain now without the chips, okay? But this is just going to be easier for them. They could just program you instantly, okay? They don't need these MK Ultra years and years of trying to, hypnotize people or whatever. They could just press a button. They could just type it into the computer, and your brain changes, man. What the hell? I would like to transform my own mind of my own free will. I don't want anything thinking for me. I definitely don't want I want the government as far away from my brain as possible. Any government, which when I say the government, I mean the worldwide government that pretends like it's a bunch of different governments. Okay. Next up, NASA. Oh man. NASA sounds the alarm. A massive anomaly spreads across the Earth. Scientists trace it to a mysterious force deep beneath the surface. I'll tell you right now, mysterious force deep beneath the surface does exist. It's not mysterious to some of us. It's the heart of the Earth. It's the inner Earth sun. It's plasma that's charging. All of the Earth's energy is seeping down back into the bowels of the Earth. It's charging. And if it's charging, that means one day the whole purpose for it charging is to release the energy once again. It's an in and an out. It's a cyclical system. And we don't notice it over long periods of time because we're so caught up, looking down and not paying attention and living in these loops. People don't recognize these cycles. It says NASA scientists are closely monitoring the South Atlantic anomaly, a significant disturbance in the Earth's magnetic field. That's in Star Wars. Everything in Star Wars is true. Okay, just so you know, it's just a comic book version of the truth. There's a disturbance in the force. That's what that is. I'm not saying, oh, it's funny, it sounds like it. It's not, does not sound like it. That's what it is. Okay, there's force, there's a force everywhere, all around you. I don't want to get too deep. I'm going to get all Jedi on people. But they're talking about the magnetic field. It's in fluctuation right now. Okay, it's got nothing to do with a sun that's billions of miles away and it's, throwing up, what do they call that? Sun flares or whatever garbage. The sun puking all over the planet, just aiming perfectly at us when everything's all spiraling out of control and flying around in the galaxy, and the sun just lines up perfect. And it's just going to hit us. Pow. All that weird story. The sun has very little effect except for making things hot on our world. Okay, in my opinion. The Earth has the most effect on everything in the Earth. And I say in because there's a dome above us. That's a part of the Earth. Okay. The Earth. So astrology. Okay. They put like the sun number 1. Like, oh, that's the highest influencer. No, it's not. The Earth is the highest influencer. You live in the Earth. You're made of the Earth. Whatever's going on with the Earth is going to affect you. The Earth is going through a fluctuation electromagnetically right now. So you see it in humans. Acting crazy, acting out, acting like they've never acted before. They're fluctuating. They're not reliable as a species or as anything, basically. Okay, they're in flux, and that flux is the norm. So if you're in flux, you'll be normal to everybody else. If you're acting crazy and base and satanic and perverse and weird and just messed up, that'll be normal, and nobody will hate you for it. Nobody will be up against you. You act traditionally. You act good, basically. You're reliable and things of this nature. Then you'll be hated. People will say, "Why are you so abnormal?" Everything's flipped upside down. Our vocabulary, our perception. This is a huge omen. All right, what's this next one? Oh my God, you're not going to believe this story. Watch this. I'm just going to play it. I hope you guys can hear this.
When most of us think of dairy, well, dairy milk alternatives, I should say, things like almond, soy milk, those come to mind.
Yeah, I do almond every once in a while. How does cockroach milk sound to you? Yes, believe it or not, don't freak out looking at this video, but it's a bizarre craze catching a lot of attention from all those superfood enthusiasts out there. Experts say that there is a rare milk crystal produced by the creepy crawler that contains human health benefits. It boasts 4 times as much protein as cow's milk does.
Hold on. Ugh. I've got so many things happening in me right now. Okay, first of all, it's like goosebumps because it's creepy. Okay, first and foremost, I don't drink cow milk, and for a really simple reason: I'm not a cow. That's that. I came to that realization. It was like a simple realization a long time ago, years and years ago. And I loved cow milk. I grew up drinking all of it. Okay, I loved all the cow milk. I still have ice cream and stuff that's made of cow milk or whatever every once in a while. Okay, I'm still working on it. But I stopped just guzzling down cow's milk because I realized I'm not a cow. Like, why am I drinking cow? I'm not a baby cow. You know why the Jewish people call you the goy, and they refer to you as animals and sheep and cows and cattle and all this stuff? There's going to be a great harvest. You guys are being fattened up for otherworldly freaking monsters that are going to come in here, gigantism, bugs, and all kinds of stuff. The stuff that you eat now is going to eat you in the future. All right. Anyways, I don't drink cow milk, so I don't care what they say about cow milk. Okay, breast milk is what you should drink when you're young and you need nourishment. However, all these women are poisoned. They have toxic milk stuff, okay? So they either that or they're just lazy. They don't want to breastfeed. I don't know. I don't understand it. Okay, I'm not picking on anybody individually. I'm just sharing my path with you, okay? I don't drink cow milk. Okay? If you stop drinking cow milk, I haven't even got to the cockroach thing yet. If you stop drinking cow milk for like a month and then you open up some and smell it, it'll smell putrid to you. I'm guessing. That was my experience. Okay. I stopped drinking it for like a month or two. I went and I thought about it and I smelled it and it stinks, man. Same thing with smelling bread. Like, you ever open up that store-bought bread, the stuff that stays fresh forever, right? And you smell that bread, it smells like chemicals. I swear to God, the bread smells like chemicals. It does not smell like freshly baked bread. That's good. You know, freshly baked bread. When someone's baking bread in the house, it's mouth-watering. It smells good, okay? Good, fresh, real bread smells good. This bread in the plastic or whatever it is, and slices and all that stuff, put it right up to your nose and get a big, just suck it in. Just, It smells like chemicals, like a concoction of disgusting, nasty. It smells like what I would expect to tear out of the walls in my house or something. It smells terrible. Anyways, they're comparing the cockroach milk, saying it's even more healthy than the cow milk. Your cow milk, you know why you got like preteens walking around with, needing bras and stuff like that these days? It's because of the cow milk. They inject this nasty stuff. I don't know what it's called, but they inject stuff into the cow milk to give them bigger boobs so that they make and produce more milk. Why do you think that your little girls are walking around and need bras way younger or whatever? And then, that leads to all kinds of other nasty stuff in our crazy satanic world. But yeah, there's all kinds of disgusting hormones and stuff that's added to the cow milk. And now they're saying cockroach milk is a superfood. Dude, listen, you guys aren't even eating food. Forget superfood. You need to go back to food. Regular food, like apples, stuff that grows on the tree. You can just pull it right off and start eating it. Okay? Carrots, whatever. You pull it out of the ground, wash off a potato, cook that bad boy up. That's food. Okay? You need to go back to that before you worry about superfoods. And cockroaches are superfoods for bug people. I don't know. I have no proof, no evidence at all. I just have a feeling that some humans, when we transition into this next apocalyptic cycle and there's radiation everywhere and stuff, some of these humans are going to turn into bug people. That's just a feeling I have. I'm not even going to prove it. I can't. Nothing. I got a feeling, man. I got a feeling that some people are going to be bug people. I don't know. They're already eating like they're bug people. Okay? But cockroaches? Blah. I have to like strain to try to convince people that seafood and shellfish and crevice dwellers, what do you call those? Crawfish? Crevice fish. They're not even fish. I have to strain real hard to try to convince people. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just trying to help you to see the truth. After you know the truth, you still want to eat bugs. Fine. That's up to you. Okay. I'm done. I've done my duty. I've let you know what it really is. They're bugs. They're insects. Okay. They're spiders of the ocean and stuff. And yes, that's what you're eating. As long as you know that and you're fine with it. Okay. Sweet. But if you didn't know that and now you do, now you have a choice to make, okay? Anyways, these people are already eating sea bugs of all kinds. There's bug eaters in the world, okay? And it's nasty, man. It's gross to me personally, okay? I don't know what else to say about it. I'm not talking about the health benefits. I'm not talking about which ones are good to eat, and I'm not examining it. I'm not getting it close up and figuring out, the nutritious value of cockroaches and crap. I wouldn't do that. There's certain things where I draw the line. I'm old-fashioned, and I'm proud to be a part of me to be old-fashioned, okay? I draw the line. You ever listen to your coworkers, and they all inevitably, every time, they always play that game like, what are you willing to do for a certain amount of money? I heard that when I was a server at like a million different restaurants, okay? The servers get bored and they inevitably always ask that question. Hey, would you do this for $1 million or whatever? And I'm like, damn. My answer is no. Every single time across the board, because I have value. I have, I don't have a vocabulary right now. I lost the word for it, but I have a line I draw, man, for no amount of money. Okay? Because I have like self-respect. I can't be bought. You know what I mean? Like these people are like, would you eat this? Would you do this with this kind of a person or whatever? Like, people are just trying to see what the boundaries are. I'm like, if you would do it for any amount of money, you would do it for free. There's a world where you would do that. There's some kind of condition where you would just do that. Okay? Anyways.
And is packed with essential amino acids.
Essential amino acids. Lovely. Lovely. It's packed. Do you hear it? Listen, this is not the only news station, 11 News, that has done this. Okay, I watched probably 30 cockroach milk videos, and every single one of them says the same thing. Okay? They're all being told to say this and to make these main points that they're so good for you. And shame on, what is that, the UK that made it like legal to put like minuscule amounts of different kinds of insects in your ingredients without labeling it, this is bugs. Shame and disgust from over here. From me, personally. Not from America or anything, because America's nasty anyway. But just from me. You know what I mean? Like, God, how are you people not rising up or, you know... Geez, man, like here in America, we had the Tea Party over tea, okay? Leaves of plants, okay? Forcing people to eat insects, putting things into their food. I would punch somebody if someone put some nasty stuff in my food and didn't tell me about it. I would, okay? I don't know. Like, I will punch somebody if they put some disgusting, nasty ingredients and then they're watching me eat it and they want to see if I like it or not, and just, nah, man. Nah, forget that. Forget that. What else did it say?
Not going to find this rare crystal, though, inside your
A rare crystal?
Yes, no, they are only produced by the Pacific beetle cockroach.
So how many cockroaches do you have to eat to figure out that it's only the Pacific?
Oh my God. And you guys thought it was nasty when I was slurping coffee? This makes me gag. I don't know. Slurping doesn't bother me or whatever, but oh my, this is, I hate bugs anyway. Okay? They're little, they don't have, I don't know, I mean, I like to believe everything's connected and that, you know, we all have a soul and everything, but not bugs. I don't know. Maybe they do, but still, they have like little, they're left-brained, man. They're insectoids. The ends justify the means. They will eat their own offspring. They'll eat you. They don't care. It's wrong. God, wrong. And this, how are they even putting this on? This should not be a news story. Superfood. They should not have the right to define these types of terms. Okay? Cockroach milk, it should say, is nasty. That's what that should say. Is bad for you. Is nasty. Don't eat that. I wouldn't eat that if I was dying. If I was starving to death and it's the apocalypse and I saw, oh my God, there's a little cockroach. I'm not going to be the person that smashes it and eats it and I'm like, oh, I just have to consume something. Fudge that. It's my time. I'm going. I'm out. If I'm starving to death, I'll start praying for sustenance from God before I eat a freaking cockroach, man. No. Forget that. Anyways, I don't know. I'm making a way big deal about that one, huh? All right. Give birth? In this economy? U.S. women scoff at Trump's meager baby bonuses. Baby bonuses, incentives to have babies, as if there's not already women out there who are doing this, right? Getting pregnant so that they can live off of the system, you know what I mean? Basically be baby mama rich. Trust me, I know all about it, okay? It does happen. Now they're trying to like push that because people can't have babies. They're trying to make it sound like they don't want to or whatever. But hey, good news. All you people that don't want to have babies, I'm glad. Stop. Please stop having babies. Please stop procreating. Okay, like I said, I want TikTok and all that stuff to be gone. That whole whack, weird, perverse, upside down, flux world that we live in, it'll go away if people stop having babies. So by all means, stop having babies. Give birth in this economy? Yeah, as if the economy has anything to do with anything. Your decision to go out and, have a wild Friday night at the club or whatever, however you guys do it. You know what I mean? The Trump administration is considering pro-natalist policies. That means I'm all for more humans being made so that we can continue humanity. That's what that is all about, okay? They like to put little names on stuff. Pro-natalist. KC says, I love what you do and say the Bible corrections too. Hey, thank you, KC. Thanks for the money, man. Like, that helps me out. I buy food and I pay bills and stuff with that. Not every YouTuber is rich, so it goes a long way. Thank you so much, everybody. All right. Trump administration is considering pro-natalist policies such as awarding $5,000 for every birth. But women say they want universal health care and cheaper child care. And then they show you like these little numbers like, oh, this is how much it costs, $300,000 to raise a child. No, it doesn't. Okay. That's in this America, first of all. Let me show you some of the things that they bitch about. Excuse my language, but these people are just complaining so much. The Trump administration wants to incentivize people to have children. I don't think that they have a real stake in helping people raise them. Well, what are they talking about? They want more money to have babies. They're trying to haggle. You know what I mean? Remember the days when people wouldn't give you anything for having a baby? You're just expected to raise a child out of love. Oh my God, what is that? A man and a woman love each other and so they make life together. That's what that used to be. Not today. What are some of the things that they're saying here? Women are realizing that they're more than just birthing machines. Nice. Birthing machines. Great. There's so much spellcraft in that. Yeah, they're trying to make it sound like, oh, you just see me as a birthing machine. Not anymore. You can't. You're not even capable of doing that anymore. Some people. What's the thing they said about how much it costs? How much it costs. People are complaining about how much it costs to raise a baby. Dude, it doesn't cost anything. You produce food for the baby, hopefully. I don't know. Maybe some of you can't. I don't know. I don't study it. I'm not a girl, okay? But I'm just assuming that that's nature and that's how that works, okay? You stick it right there and it feeds, okay? That's the way it should be, and normally that's how it goes, okay? I gotta buy formula. You know how much formula costs these days? What else was that thing? There was something in here about car seats. Let me look that up. Yeah, listen to this. Listen to what this person says. Let me zoom in on this so we can read it together. 5,000? Oh, that doesn't go very far. I swear to God, I'll stretch $5,000. Okay, who are these people? $5,000? I can stretch that. Okay, I could live off $5,000 for, I don't know, 6 months or something at least. $5,000? That doesn't go very far. One 24-year-old stay-at-home mother of 4 complained on TikTok as her children babbled in the background. I can imagine. Cost $300 just to buy a car seat for these kids. You can make a car seat, just so you know, if you can't afford one, you could make one. Oh, I can't make a car seat. That's impossible. Let's look up the actual price of car seats, shall we? With a quick internet search, I found this one right here for $70. Real quick. And there's cheaper ones, okay? And these are brand new. That's not even if you look into getting a used car seat and, sharing your stuff or whatever. No, these entitled people want brand new, state-of-the-art 6 cup holders, a neck massage, car seat, and all this, made out of the finest, spider freaking silk material or whatever. Yeah, these people are lying to you, okay? It's not that they can't afford to have children. It's just that they're lazy, okay? Children are seen as an inconvenience instead of a blessing. And that's how you're going to treat them. Those children are going to be raised without love. Those children are going to be raised and feel like they're in the way. And they're going to get mad. And they're going to be angry. And they're going to raise their children in similar fashion. And it's just going to get worse and worse. How about you be thankful? That's my opinion. So anyways, if you have an omen, super shifting gears real quick. If you have an omen you want to share, I'm going to post a link in my posts section on my channel. It used to be called community section. Now it's called posts. It's JayDreamerZ.filemail.com. And I pay for this service, so also when you guys make donations and stuff, it helps me to be able to, pay for stuff like this. So this is a service that I now happily pay for because it's very easy for me to get pictures and videos and stuff from you guys. Please do read the little rules are right here so that you can do it the proper way. And I look forward to sharing all of you guys' stuff that you have to share with me because I love it, especially, and I put on here too, you'll notice, your own original videos will have priority over internet content. So if you got something cool from the internet, sweet, I'll check it out. Doesn't mean I'm going to share it, but if it's yours, if it's you caught something on your phone or video or whatever it is, I'm going to put that at the top of the list to share it because I want people to have incentive to actually share authentic content instead of just everyone's ripping stuff off of TikTok from everybody else. You know what I mean? All right, sweet. Well, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate all of you guys' support. Until next time, I'm JayDreamerZ saying good vibes and goodbye.
Something's forcing me to stay. It'd be easier on me if I turn away to flee. But there's something going on, the way being wrong. There's so many ways to escape, but I guess it's time to wake up. Time to wake up. Find so many ways to escape, but I guess it's time to wake up. Time to wake I'll try so hard to fade away, but something's forcing me to stay. It'd be easier for me if I turn away to flee. But there's something holding on in the way of being long gone. There's so many ways to escape, but I guess it's time to wake up, time to wake up. Far too many ways to escape, but I guess it's time to wake up, time to wake up. Time to wake up, time to wake up.